NFL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
Well, we are back in full strength. XL Primetime on the Mokama Beer Company Monday. I had PGA Tour duties and put a great one for Rory McIlroy, but was doing the Pebble Beach broadcast while JJ was sunning on some beach down in the
You know what I said?
Central America.
I said Joe was on assignment.
Yeah. PGA Tour. Yeah, I love PGA. By the way, it went from PGA Tour Entertainment to PGA Tour Studios. And on assignment is Jaguars today. Don't even worry about that.
All right.
We will not borrow from that. But we're all back together. Big Searcy, Maddie, me, JJ. We're ready to rock and roll. And now we're living in an EVP world for your Jacksonville Jaguars. So let's start there. And we will get into the Luka to the Lakers trade, AD to Dallas. I said in the handoff, I didn't think the NBA could steal the NFL's Super Bowl shine, but lo and behold, they did. This is supposed to be Super Bowl week, which everything will be directed towards can Mahomes and Reed three-peat, all this stuff. And here we are, Luka and AD in this blockbuster trade. So we'll get into that coming up. But, Leon, start off with your line mate, okay? Your tackle mate.
Yeah.
Tony Vaselli.
The bookend.
It's finally official. He's executive vice president of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
EVP, man. I heard the news this morning. I was happy for him. Absolutely happy for him. I mean, listen, I had said this a couple of months ago about the Jaguars need to bring somebody in here who cared a little bit more about the organization, had an attachment to it in some capacity. And I mentioned Bo. I said, you should hire Baselli, someone who, not as a GM, but as an executive, vice president of football operations, somebody who's entrenched with the organization, who loves the Jaguars, who essentially is as frustrated as any former Jaguar of the lack of success that the Jaguars have had over the last decade or so. So, I mean, I'm happy for him. I mean, listen, and I mean, I see Baselli. I've seen doing training camps and stuff like that, and we would have conversations about what we endured, how we were tough and physical and mental and all of this kind of stuff. So I mean, He wanted to see a little bit of what was old new again, because when we had a lot of success here in Jacksonville early and often. In 5 years, we went to 4 straight playoffs, had opportunities to go to the Super Bowl at least 2 times. So, I mean, it was definitely frustrating for him, and him being the first pick ever. I mean, he was the first Jaguar picked ever. I mean, everybody talks about the first 10, but, I mean, he was their first round draft pick and everything. So, we used to call him firstborn. That was a joke. He was firstborn. So, I mean, it's good to have somebody on board who bleeds the teal and black, cares about the team, cares about the organization, and most importantly, cares about the fact that the fans want a winner here again.
So, according to the Jaguars, Liam Cohen, Tony Baselli, and our next general manager will form a football leadership unit that will collaborate and align on all major football decisions, develop a long-term strategy for sustained on-field success, and provide counsel to Shad Khan. Now, look, we've all talked about toughness and everything, and I'm sure Tony will. That'll be part. Tony brings winning. You know what I mean? He brings the connection to what it was like with the Leon and Tony teams. Yeah. He. I mean, just walking in there, he could say, "Look, this is how it's done. This is how you win in this league. Okay, this is how you sustain winning in this league." That's what I think is as important as anything. Honestly, it's somebody who knows how to win, who has sustained winning, who has been at the height of the franchise in this city, in the franchise, and dealing with being a small city in a huge, giant corporate conglomerate league and being successful. He's done it. That's what I think, as much as anything, is so important with him being there.
Yeah, I feel like, and we had this discussion, can you see a role for him? What would the role be? And Matt had argued, let him be, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but basically, if he goes out there and finds talent, he knows what it looks like. That's the way I came away from this, is like, he may not be able to come in and be 100% responsible for everything in the building, but he knows what winning looks like. He has been part of a winning culture. And from an attitude and from a front man point of view, I definitely like that because you mentioned what John Lynch has been able to do in San Francisco and what John Elway did when he went back to Mile High.
How many times have we heard Leon in any number of situations say, bro, that's not how it's done.
Yeah.
They can't do that.
And so I guess what I am interested in, I don't necessarily need him breaking down films or negotiating contracts on every player. I want him to have some say, valid, important intel on where this team is going direction-wise, because I do think he knows what a winner looks like. Now, he may not be able to say, hey, Mason Graham over, I'm trying to think, Travis Hunter. He may have an opinion on that, a strong opinion on that, but I still want to make sure there's one more good, legitimate front office guy.
Plus, and if I may, real quick, Leon, last year when they're losing 5 or 6 to be eliminated from the playoffs, when they lose like the third straight, there's a much different weight in a meeting room when Trent Baalke walks in, unless the other guy walking in now is Tony Baselli.
Right. He goes in there and rips him a new one.
Completely different. Right?
Yeah.
That, I'm telling you right now, that streak would have ended at like 3 if Tony Baselli's walking in that room.
I mean, and listen, I just recall conversations Tony and I would have in training camp, just, passerbys, is how physical we were up front. We understood that the lines of scrimmage had to be established if we were going to have any kind of success. Mm-hmm. So I know that he'll definitely has some input on what the offensive line should look like.
Yeah.
What the defensive line should look like, because
that's where you win.
That's where you win ball games, and that's how we win ball games. We won ball games because we were more physical up front on both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. So he understands that. Now you need your weapons. Now we had Jimmy and Keenan and Fred and Brew.
Yeah.
But we understood that it had to be entrenched in the D-line and the O-line first, and then all those other things factor in.
Yeah, he knows what good looks like, and here at late, he also knows what bad looks like. And the other good thing about Tony is not only did he have his play-by-play duties in the Jaguars broadcast booth, but also would travel and do other play-by-play over the last handful of years. Mm-hmm. And so he's seen a lot of other successful teams. He's been able to engage with a lot of other either coaches, players, personnel people that have constructed with success other football teams. So he's gone and offered the color commentary for, let's just throw any of them out there, Kansas City versus Baltimore, whichever. We know the winners that we're talking about. And so he's seen how these other teams have been put together. He's talked to other people that are in front offices. And so from that point of view, I love it. Now,
you know what else? He's also been the first overall pick in the draft, okay? Yeah. Or not of a team. Yeah. Second overall, first of the team.
His franchise,
right.
Yeah.
So he understands that pressure. He understands the pressure of being the most important player on the team early on, okay? So all these things that Trevor's going through, mm-hmm. right? He understands the idea of getting to the playoffs and the pressure of the playoffs, which a lot of those guys, it was all new to them, right? He's been there all before in these situations as a player.
Yeah.
As a player. That's what's so important when you go into that locker room. You are a player saying this to other players, not a GM saying this to other players who never played the game.
But help me out, Leon, because he was the first ever Jaguar, as you said, the chosen one, and he rose to a Hall of Fame career. You guys were hard on yourselves. And so to the point that Matt's making as far as Trevor goes, did Tony put pressure on himself to make sure that he was better? Because that's at least the way I see it.
Oh, absolutely. First thing about Tony is that he was a competitor and that he held himself to a very high standard as, at the left tackle of the team. Mm-hmm. And if he felt that as one of his teammates wasn't living up to the standard, mm-hmm. he'd call him out.
Yeah. Because you would always say it was players that created that.
Yeah. You need that kind of tension between players.
Players police themselves.
Yes,
that's
you
the
need
way
that
it
tension.
works.
You need that tension between players amongst each other, because you can't allow, because I'm depending on you on Sundays, mm-hmm. and if you can't give me what I need during the week, then I can't depend you on Sundays. Yeah. So you could tell a player's temperament than how he prepared and practiced. Mm-hmm. And if he didn't do it right, then you were the kind of player we didn't want to depend on.
Because I want to follow the theme that Matt's saying is like, Tony Baselli and Leon Searcy policed each other, like you're saying, and that team, they challenged each other to get better. Can he challenge Trevor, and can he show Trevor the blueprint on how to challenge yourself? Because if you go back in his second year, your first year here in Jacksonville, he diffused Bruce Smith and began his Hall of Fame resume in his second year. Trevor, in his third year, came from 27 down and won a playoff game. Stuff of legend. But he hasn't been able to keep that going. You guys were able to keep it going. And so that's what I'm interested just to see where that dynamic goes, where just him in the building and know that there's a gold jacket that comes with him, what he can do to change the mindset.
We talk about culture all the time. And check me if I'm wrong, Leon. He also dealt with a major injury and coming back from a major. He has literally dealt with everything as a player.
Yeah.
So there's not one thing going on in that locker room that he doesn't know. That if some player walks up to him and says, "Hey, I'm having, what about this?" Or I'm having problems with this, and he can be like, "Let me tell you something. Let me tell you this story."
Well, also, I believe that Tony's going to be the type of guy he's not going to buy into excuses. Because he's played the game at a very high level, at a very elite level, and you can't run no bull by him.
Right.
I mean, because he's been a former player, he could tell who's running game and who's just running their mouth or who's about the business. So that's another thing that I think that he's going to be able to. Because you can peep game. You can peep game. You can tell when the guy just runs this, but then the guys that want to win and are sincere about him, those are the guys he wants in the locker room.
All right. So, do you guys like the idea? Hopefully, you're dialed in, either listening to us on the stream, on the radio. You've logged on to YouTube. You can jump in the YouTube chat. You can hit the text line 641-1010, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Do you like the idea of 3 different voices reporting to Shad Khan? Because you still have to. The one thing that still has to happen, you got an EVP that, as far as the statement goes, he will report directly to Shad. You have Liam Cohen, who will report directly to Shad. And you have a yet-to-be-hired GM that will report directly to Shad. Are you guys all right with that? Do you like that formula, that model, 3 voices? And how often do you report? And is Shad there to where he can take all this stuff in and do something with it? It's one thing to report something. It's another thing for your superior to do something with it. I like the idea, without question, that this guy comes in as a former gladiator for this football team. And now he can don the gold jacket, or has donned the gold jacket. And so those are credentials. And now he can demand a little bit more and, like Matt's saying, kind of storytell his way to these young players on how to be even better with their craft. But what about the dynamic of 3 people reporting to the owner? What do you think?
Well, listen, I definitely wanted somebody that knew football in the building for sure. Somebody who had an attachment with the Jaguars, who has an affiliation, an association with them, and I wanted somebody that felt, that I felt that was entrenched in Jacksonville. That's why I mentioned Tony. And Tony has, he's entrenched. He's heartfelt when it comes to the Jaguars. So this is personal for him. I think him taking this EVP, I think it's going to be personal for him because, we in our time when he played, this organization, this team, was on the map, and now we're considerable punching bags to national pundits. I think that he probably won't say no depressor, but I think that kind of pisses him off.
So let me say this too. Whenever you have ideals like this of, hey, let's get a 3-prong attack, and all 3 of them will go after it, and they'll all report to the owner, and everything will work. At some point, the cream will rise to the top. At some point, one of those 3 guys will be the main guy in this entire process. And I don't think it's going to be Liam Cohen, only because he's young. It's his first job. He's simply trying to win games right now.
Right.
If he gets to the point where he strings together 2 and 3 and 4 straight winning seasons, he immediately becomes the top of that food chain.
Yeah.
But if and until then, there's going to be one guy up there. So then the question becomes, if you're a GM, do you want to walk into this situation with Tony Pacelli, the chosen one, as Leon calls him,
firstborn,
right? As
the
EVP,
firstborn. I need to make sure I get that correct.
Firstborn as the EVP of this place.
Yeah.
Knowing that, push comes to shove, guess who Shad's probably going to listen to?
Yeah.
Tony Pacelli.
And because he's also the most visible face that Shad has seen.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a great thing that the guy that at the end of the day Shad listens to would be Tony Pacelli. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like when you're working on the project, okay? You got to make sure that if you are given the opportunity to work on the project, that you have answers when they come to you and say, how is the project going? you have answers, and that's the essence of what they're going to be doing. All right, Mocama Beer Company Monday. Every single day they've got their coffee, the baristas working for you, and delicious coffee, and they've got just all the other wonderful selection that you would like to see when you walk into a beautiful coffee shop. They have that. They've got craft Tuesday through Sunday, and they've got 2 great locations up in Nassau County, one right there in beautiful Fernandina, South 8th Street, right as you enter the historic district, and then over in Wildlight. Make sure you check out Mocama for great craft. Mocama.com. So we're on the EVP hire and also the coaching hires, and Ron Rivera maybe be part of the staff going forward. Let's get into all that coming up on XL Primetime.
A symphony of sweat, grit, and glory. Dive into the action and live the moments. For play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage too.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. New year, new you. How many times have you heard that? We all set goals when the year begins, and more times than not, it revolves around the way you look. So if you're ready to get serious about being the best you, it's time to get serious about Awaken 180 weight loss. It's time to get serious about losing weight the right way and getting into the best shape of your life safely. No guesswork, no trial and error, no medication side effects. I'm proof I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and Hacker lost more than 115. You can lose it too. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Reach your goals with Awaken 180 weight loss and become a new you. Trust me, it was simple. A word you never hear used with weight loss programs unless you're referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear path to success with the solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Chris Campione. In a world of big box law firms with satellite offices, there's something special about having a local legal team that cares about you and your community. We're not just lawyers, we're your neighbors. We understand the unique challenges facing the Jacksonville community because we live here too. At Campione Law, Campione Cares isn't just a tagline, it's our commitment to you. Campione Law, your trusted lawyers after an accident. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL is the home of Gator Nation and the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. I'm Hacker, and we keep you connected with the University of Florida all year long. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
It's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker, card games, and hospitality. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And it's not just poker. With delicious dining, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com and ante up for fun.
Upgrade your home with the winning combination of style and performance from Renewal by Andersen. Energy efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. For a limited time, buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires February 28th. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hammond, Valentine's Day is coming up. Got any romantic plans?
Dad, I'm married to Clean Air. My plan is to help Jacksonville families breathe easier.
You're helpless, but Clean Air does sound nice. Can duct cleaning really help?
Absolutely. Dust, allergens, even odors can build up in your ducts. Cleaning them now makes your air fresher and healthier for your family. The EPA says better indoor air quality can reduce health risk.
So cleaning ducts are like Valentine's Day gift for the house.
Exactly. Forget chocolates. Fresh air lasts longer and doesn't melt. Plus, we've got a February special, $100 off your total.
All right, sign me up. Maybe fresh air will make Mom fall in love with me again all over.
You'll have to take her to dinner for that, but cleaner air will definitely help.
Fair enough. Jacksonville, if you're ready to show your home some love, Google Zero Res and read over 7,000 5-star reviews. Zero Res.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREC. Zero Res.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks, and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Valentine's Day is almost here. You can't get away with just a card this year. Beard's Diamonds is here to save the day and your wallet.
Oh, and it gets better. Every purchase between now and Valentine's Day comes with a free dinner at Fogo de Chao.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jackson. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
We love hanging out on a Monday, kind of recounting all the events from the weekend. We are definitely going to get into the deal that shook the NBA world. And like I said, it kind of shook the NFL world a little bit because they've stolen all the headlines, at least for right now on this Monday. But we've been talking about your Jacksonville Jaguars, the EVP role. New business cards being printed up, basically, for Tony Baselli. Now he's got HOF and EVP on it. So what do you guys think? 641-1010. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures and let us know about that. And then the other half of it is that it's been pretty busy. You guys were covering the moves that Liam Cohen was making last week, late last week, putting an offensive coordinator in place, defensive coordinator in place. So let's dig into that a little bit. And the idea of Ron Rivera may be coming here. But so far, what you've seen, and there are people sitting back, they're constantly sitting back and second-guessing certain things. But what did you think about what Liam Cohen's done so far with his staff, Leon?
Well, I'm not surprised. I don't think he went about, signing friends, but he's a lot of the guys that he's associating himself with is guys he's familiar with, and they just happen to be young guys, because you're talking about a guy who's relatively young himself, hasn't had that much NFL experience. So, I mean, he's going to reach out to guys he's familiar. He's going to reach out to the Sean McVays. He's going to reach out to the Matt LaFleurs. He's going to reach out to the guys like Kevin O'Connell, guys that he's familiar with. So you're going to see guys pulled from those trees because I think that he's familiar with them. So those are the guys you're going to get probably within your coaching staff.
Yeah, I don't have any problem at all with who he's hired. I mean, if you're a head coach in the NFL and you're going to hire people that you're comfortable around, you're going to hire people
succeed or fail.
You're either going to hire somebody that you know or somebody that your mentor that you trust explicitly knows and says, hey, this is a guy. Like if Kevin O'Connell said, this is the guy you need to run your offense, then and you're looking for somebody that and that's your guy. I don't have any problem with any of that. I guess the way I'm looking at it of all the recent moves, and especially if Ron Rivera gets added to this group as a consultant or whatever he would be, it's a lot of big personalities, man. You've got a lot of big personalities now in that building.
Yeah, but I agree with you. But I don't want if I'm the head coach of a team, I don't want a bunch of yes men. I want men that are going to tell me, they're going to tell me, no, this is the way. What I'm saying is I'm going to respect opinions. I don't want everybody, on my train track, on my train. I don't want to. If I'm the engine, I don't need everybody to be the caboose. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a bunch of cabooses. I need some people that are going to roll up to me and say, hey, Leon, look, this is how it should be run, this, and that. Because he's got to say to himself, I'm in a position where I know a lot, but I don't know everything.
I love that. Similar question on the text line. Will that be a lot of pressure on Baselli in terms of taking on that role? Well, there's a lot of pressure on Liam to make the right hires. There's a lot of pressure on Bo to figure out exactly what his position in this building is going to be and when to raise hell or challenge somebody or say that doesn't wash with me.
When you have any position in the NFL, you should have pressure on you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
It would be terrible if you didn't.
It's never ending. Dan Marino went into Miami and said, okay, I'll take the job of president. And all of a sudden he felt that pressure you're talking about. He's like, I'm out. I guess this is not for me. And I don't mind being, like we described, kind of the face of the franchise. But, oh, yeah, there's enormous pressure. People second-guessing you. And look, even on the text line already, Baselli's seen that sorry a bunch, from the booth for this long, long time. How in the heck is he going to know what good's going to look like? Okay, I get what you're saying. But at the same time, he's been around. He knows what these L's feel like.
Well, that sorry bunch that plays all those other NFL teams that are good, that's what he knows what good looks like.
Yeah, he knows what this feels like. And Leon, I think you've described it to us before, is that people would come up and want to say hey to you, and they want to talk in a positive way about the Jags, and then you would reach a point where, like, it was nothing but L's were being stacked up. No one was feeling positive.
Well, no, would people ask me if you played with the Jaguars, I say, yeah, when they were good. That's my disclaimer.
That's cold, bro.
It's true. I'm sorry.
I didn't even think about the radio broadcast. What's that going to mean for us?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
With Baselli out.
It's interesting. I would
Will
love
it be
to
a two-man booth?
I need to slide Leon Searcy in there, man.
Yeah,
I would love that.
Yeah.
I'm nominating Leon Searcy, Jaguars.
Me too.
I love the radio too much.
Yeah, well, this is radio.
This is radio, right?
No.
Frangie does his show every day, and he does it. It's fine.
Just a little bit, and then compliment him.
Bro, you're
might have to
traveling.
compliment
Listen,
some,
You're eating steaks with Frangie.
Right,
and,
that's the key.
big dogs like that. Come on.
I do hear he picks
You're
up the
rubbing
tab.
elbows, man.
Yeah. All right, you're in. I can tell.
Yeah. It seems like y'all trying to get rid of me off.
You can
No,
in addition
to.
Yeah, we're adding to it. But just make sure he picks up the tab. All right, the Frenchman. All right, so I don't know whether he's going to stay in the booth as HOF and EVP.
No way.
Yeah, I don't think he can. No.
Can you imagine?
No.
That's got to be against some regulation.
CA, EVP, HOF, color analyst. That's a lot of work. Anyway, yeah, they'll probably have somebody new there. But if you're looking at the vision of a football team and you're looking at this type of guy that can come in and obviously come from good stock, he was part of the most successful run this franchise has ever had. I keep repeating myself on this, but it's worth saying again. In the 90s, there were 4 playoff appearances back to back to back to back. In the O's, there were 2 playoff appearances in 05 and 07. In the teens, there was 1. In the 20s, there was 1. If we get to 2030 and we're down to 0, we're in trouble. So they need a guy who had success in the 90s that was part of the most successful run this franchise has ever had, and try and build them back up into what they look like. And it begins with that throwback jersey and everything else that this team was back then.
Yeah, I mean, I think that probably the biggest challenge that Baselli's old school, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's old school, and you're not gonna. I mean, him having to deal with these athletes now. I mean, I'm very interested to see how he's going to be able to handle it. I mean, because
I don't think he'll be doing that.
Well, in some capacity,
I think he'll be talking to players.
Yeah, I think he'll be doing a lot more than you think, JJ.
In the free agent,
like, is the head coach cool with that?
Yeah,
of course.
Okay.
In luring free agents here, he'll be part of the tour.
Well, that's different.
Yeah,
Leon's talking about like if a player, is doing something, he goes and confronts a player in the locker room. Like, I don't know if that's his.
I don't think confronting, but he will definitely be in the locker room.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, what wasn't TC EVP?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he was EVP, GM. He's had a bunch of titles too. He was. You got a problem? You come talk to me. And that's what he was.
Yeah.
He was handing out fines left and right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yes.
That's why I said Bo's a little old school.
To the very end. To the very end, he was. Yes.
I mean, Bo's a little old school. I mean, he got a little bit of that in him. Not maybe not as direct, but I mean, he don't cut to the chase. Let me just say that about Bo.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
he's gonna spit real to you. He's gonna spit real.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I was just under the impression that he's like working with Shad and letting Shad know,
no.
Okay.
No, I think they're all three. They are all three. The personnel department is what it is. The head coach, the GM, and him, and they all report to Shad. That's what it said in that release they had.
Yeah.
So he's going to be. Yeah, he will deal with players. Okay. JJ. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and I just think more than anything else, he gets that piece of clay, and he gets to hopefully help shape the future of this football team. And this is what he envisions it looking like. And that is a salesman of sorts from a Hall of Famer's point of view. This is what I'm trying to sell to you. I need you to buy in. This is what it's going to take. This is how hard. You think you worked hard? No, you got to work a little harder, that type of stuff. And it's not always going to be rah-rah and cheerleading. There's going to be some butt chewing going on as well.
Yeah, and he will not go. He's not going to do like what I say, where you publicly call him out, which you guys always give me grief about.
Mm-hmm.
But I can guarantee you he'll go in the locker room and say, hey, bro, this NFL stands for not for long.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get your act together quick.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any let's go have some ice cream and let's get into our feelings.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely. Hey, he's going to choose some rear end now. It's going to happen.
I hope
great.
So, because
the more the merrier, man.
If you go back in time, let's make this a 10-10 take real quick, JJ, before we get to the Luka and AD deal.
Now, Josie's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since 68.
You can always enjoy a great meal at Sonny's. They're ready for you. They smoke it slow and serve it fast. So make sure you check them out all over town because they want to make sure that you get some great barbecue. So there was a time when there were blackouts in the NFL. Remember that? It wasn't that long ago, but tickets were not being sold. Local markets were being blacked out. This team was being talked about more across the pond than it was here, and on and on and on. And we went through a really tough period where you had to convince fans, hey, you guys got to get behind this team with purchasing season tickets. And you know what Tony was at that time? He was the mayor of Tealtown. And he was the guy that was that upfront, out in the public voice. And from that point on to hiring Mark Lamping to do all the things that they've done, he was a central figure in all of this. So I give him credit in that respect for getting people to realize how kind of to the edge of the NFL cliff they had gotten with not purchasing season tickets and having way too many blackouts. Well, blackouts have gone away, but Tony was that central figure. And now when he takes that type of passion in the building, let's see what he can do with it and maybe turn this team around from the point of view that they can go out and start to kick some A and be winners instead of losers. That's the 10-10.
I agree with you. First thing he's going to probably do, get rid of that ice cream machine. Get it out the building.
Get it out of there.
I'm telling you, bro. Tony could be fiery, bro, and feisty. He played like that.
And heck, after he finished his NFL career, remember he went into the triathlon mode or one of those training modes where he was dropping a bunch of LBs. So yeah, he'll probably he'll ride him a little bit. All right, so you guys let us know what you're thinking. Let's get to Luka and Anthony Davis. When you woke up Sunday morning, what were you thinking? The association with a mega deal, and we'll compare it to to what it would be like if that type of deal went down in the NFL. Who would be the players with a big blockbuster trade like that? Throw them at us right here on XL Primetime.
My plan is to adopt a new style, a combination that requires the highest level of conditioning, speed, creativity, most of all,
1010XL. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The Florida Gators suffered a very tough loss on Saturday as they fell to Tennessee up in Knoxville 64-44. Star guard Walter Clayton Jr. exited the game just before half after suffering an apparent ankle injury, but did return to the second half in limited action. The Gators get right back to it on Tuesday, taking on Vanderbilt at home at 7 o'clock.
It's playoff time, and now's the time to cash in on the postseason. Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet, and the place for all the action during the playoffs is Hard Rock Bet, all the way to the big game. HardRock.bet running new promos every day to start the new year, including football specials, odds boost, so you can make the most of every bet. It's so easy to download the app and immediately get in on the action. Just search Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for $0 down and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till July 2025? And you get 60 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Shop the Everything's on sale at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295 and at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/save for more details.
Your new roof from Universal Roof and Contracting can help save a life. Percentage of every new roof this month will go to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. St. Jude's is leading the way. The world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer and other life-threatening diseases. Call 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com to schedule your free roof inspection. This promotion ends February 28th. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 125844.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 3rd, 2002, the New England Patriots won their first Super Bowl title, defeating the St. Louis Rams 20-17. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady was awarded MVP.
Love is in the air this February, but nothing kills the mood like a plumbing or HVAC problem. Whether it's a leaky pipe, a backed up septic tank, or your heater isn't keeping things cozy, don't worry. We've got you covered. Call Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Our expert team is here to keep your home running smooth, no matter the issue. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckrooter.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, you have told us about buying better quality diamonds, but is there any way to start with a smaller diamond and use it to trade up to a larger diamond later on?
Frank, it's interesting you'd ask that because our founder, H.F. Underwood, popularized growing your diamond here in Jacksonville about 50 years ago, and it's something we still do today. When a customer buys an Underwood engagement ring or solitaire diamond pendant or a pair of ear studs, we guarantee they get the price they paid for it on the purchase of any larger diamond. Now, a lot of stores would say, big deal. We do that too, but here's the Underwood difference. We guarantee you get what you paid when you trade in your Underwood diamond, even if you're trading up by only $1. It's not that you have to trade up 2 for 1 like most jewelers ask. There have been literally thousands of people in the Jacksonville area who have taken advantage of our policy, and Underwood still grows a lot of diamonds for a lot of people.
Underwood's, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
New year, new club. This is Joe C., and I'm proud to be a member of Southampton. And with the popularity of golf, getting a tee time is tough. But with membership comes member privileges. Enjoy clubhouse dining, expanded practice area, focusing on all parts of your game. And right now, you can join with an annual commitment and get a $1,000 discount, plus $500 of Pro Shop credit. All the details are online at golfsouthampton.com or call 287-PLAY and make a tee time today at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy in the rinse shade. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime. Brought to you by Mocama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
We thank Mocama Beer Company. Definitely find them in Wildlight as well. You can find them on the shelves at Total and ABC. A little Mocama, a little craft for you with the local brewery up in Fernandina Beach. All right, so when we woke up yesterday morning, because I certainly did not catch the news late Saturday night when it all went down, but a blockbuster trade in the NBA, and Luka Doncic, who is, we all know, uber talented, one of the great offensive players in the game. How much defense does he play? You can certainly ask that question. Dad bod, check, all those things. Well, anyway, they shipped.
Not anymore, by the way.
Well, comparatively speaking, he's not a dad bod.
I don't know. He's thin now, man.
He's thin for Luka. Yeah, he's thin for Luka. Let me just tell you something. The Lakers did get the Awaken 180 version of him. I will go with you there.
I'm telling you, he's in the best shape of his career. Again, that's Luka best shape.
Again,
but he's in good shape.
Right. And so we'll find out. But he is a guy that has been questioned as far as that goes and his play on the defensive side of the ball. You now have two really good actors in L.A. when it comes to flopping. And look, I'm a Lakers fan, but I'm just thinking, the L train, they're almost paving the way for the next LeBron to take over, because both of these guys, Leon, have to have the ball in their hand.
True facts. And I wanted to ask JJ because JJ, he's the basketball guy. Do you think LeBron had any idea about this trade?
No, I actually don't.
Yeah, because this is a potential replacement.
Okay. Well, yeah. Then it makes sense. Because Luka. He's going to be the predecessor. LeBron's got what this year, maybe next year, and now you've got the star power in Luka, who's one or two best players in the NBA.
Yeah,
and he's 25 years old, and he's averaging 28 points a game. I couldn't believe the stories that I was listening to earlier this morning about his conditioning and all this. According to Matt, he's in the best shape of his life. So
just Google his pictures.
No, I want to know somewhere down the road.
AI influence.
That's not AI influence, man.
So somewhere down the road, we're gonna figure out what really happened, because it just doesn't make any sense to me.
As I saw the social post that went viral, where one of the Dallas dudes takes the beer out of his hand. And just people going nuts on X that they knew that was when it was over. He was getting shipped out.
Yeah, well, that was the GM.
Yeah.
So it was after they won the Western Conference Finals last year.
And that was Harrison taking the beer.
Yeah, and there's like a short video of Luka with his dad, and they're just standing back in the locker room, and all he's doing is drinking a beer.
Yeah.
And the guy acts like he's his mother and rips it out of his hand. The guy's a complete incompetent. I think that's what happened. This guy, Nico Williams, is an idiot.
Yeah,
he's gotten a lot of power from
Harrison. Yeah.
Harrison. So listen, he's been an incompetent for years, allegedly. He was the reason why Steph Curry's with Under Armour, because he was with Nike. They had this big presentation for him. He called him Seth, which is his brother's name.
Yeah.
They didn't offer him a signature shoe. And look at what happened now. Now he's the face of Under Armour. He's blown that brand up. So this guy just doesn't know what he's doing. He made a terrible trade. I knew immediately when it happened that it was going to be a full court press from the Mavs to the media leaking all this stuff about how he's out of shape. They said this morning, AD's a fit for our culture, inferring that Luka wasn't a fit for our. Sorry he took you to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, he was the face of
Sorry
your
about
franchise.
your culture that is so important to you that you're willing to bring in AD, who I do love AD's game, but the guy never plays. The guy is always hurt. Like, Street Clothes is one of the most infamous names, nicknames in sports over the last 10 years. And that was him.
Yeah, the unibrow. I will heavily miss that. But you're right. He was up, down. And when he was on, he was on. But then you saw him towards the end of the year in this whole load management crap that you hear all the time in the NBA. They definitely were trying to work it to perfection with AD, a lot like Joel Embiid up in Philadelphia. And these guys just wouldn't hold up necessarily. And I'm an Anthony Davis fan, and they still are going to miss a big man in the middle for sure.
Yes.
But we'll see where it goes. But this does point to the future.
They probably, if you're the Lakers, you're not going to win the title this year. I mean, like, you have a great record, and it's going to be a fun year, and you might go to the second round or third of the playoffs, but you're probably not built to win the whole thing this year. So if you are looking for the future, LeBron's probably got 2 years left or something like that, and you're the Lakers. You want to still have a face of the NBA on your team, and that's what it does.
Yeah, Luka's a bridge between him and Bronny.
Absolutely.
That's basically what it is, if we're being real. It's basically,
He's in great shape for Luka Doncic. Are you kidding me? Look at that.
He is in phenomenal shape for just any human being on earth. And listen,
I'm showing Joe a picture, Jay.
Hey, he doesn't play defense. Dude, welcome to the NBA.
Right. Well, not only that, I don't care. How about that?
I don't care at all that he doesn't play defense.
Get your other guys, your lieutenants on that team.
I'll take 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists every year. I don't care if he doesn't play defense.
And it's funny because Kyrie has gone, and he doesn't like this phrase, but he's gone and he's been the Robin at a lot of places, and he's done great things. It's funny that he now survives this. He stays in Dallas, and how will that dynamic play out with him?
He's got to be pissed about this.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out as far as how
he's been saying for the last year and a half, like, oh wow, I'm finally like feeling really comfortable, loving playing basketball again. Yeah. He's not the guy who has all the pressure on him, and now it's like, oh, now you and AD you're the guys.
It's something else. It really is. All right, so give us NFL comps if something like this were to go down.
It'd have to be a major quarterback.
NFL comps. I mean, it would.
Well, off the text line, I've got both of them.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Well, I've got both of them off the text line right now that both have Saquon. Jamar.
No,
not as important.
No, it has to be a quarterback.
Has to be.
And it's got to be a top 3 quarterback.
I'm just using the listener, just since they're throwing stuff out
I'm
there.
just saying it's got to be Josh Allen. It's got to be
Lamar.
Yeah.
Which we almost got a couple years ago. But the difference was that we all sort of saw the Lamar, like, it was rumored about Lamar maybe changing teams for months. Yeah. This Luka thing came out of absolute nowhere. Way out of left field. Shocked everybody.
And the fact that the front office for LA only has to part with AD, who does have injury history, and a first rounder.
They didn't even shop him around the league. That's where I'm like, the GM for the Mavs is an idiot.
Plus, I mean, AD's a good player. He's not Luka.
No one is close. I would say there's maybe 2 players better than Luka in the league. One, obviously, Jokic, and the other SGA. But I would take Luka over him. So, yeah, he's probably the second best player in the world.
Yeah, and when Giannis was winning,
not really trying.
Yeah, Giannis. I could give you Giannis.
Yeah, when Giannis, because I still would include him in this. But honestly, you're fighting over. It's kind of like fighting over Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, these types of guys. Who's at the top of their game this particular moment, but. He's now been challenged. He had, a $15 million house that he had just plunked down some cash on in the Dallas Metro. So we'll see where that goes. But he's now been called out, basically.
Well, it's also, I got news for you. It's also this is also on Bron now. Mm-hmm. Because Bron's right near the end of his career. Yeah. And Bron, this is up to him now to get Luka to get along. You're number one, obviously. But to convince Luka to get serious about, you got to be a beast on the floor.
Imagine if Luka actually took his body seriously.
Oh, my God.
The league better watch out.
He would just crush the NBA if he did.
Look at how many years LeBron has played the game, Leon, and how many additional years have been put on his body from postseason games that he's played. Yeah, Luka could take a page from that.
If Bron said, bro, you can't drink beer anymore, man.
Put the cigarettes down.
We are working out together all off season. This is what we're going to do. I mean, imagine what Luka would look like.
I went to LeBron and mind his business. I can have it.
Like, hey, I went to the finals
I'll
last
have my
year.
smokes and my beer whenever I want.
Exactly. I'm going to get my work in. Well, my downtime is my downtime. Yeah, with LeBron.
All right,
That's what
West Side chiming in. Luka's a liability on defense. The Celtics exposed him last year. I do get it. Listen, I get
Shut
it.
up.
But no, actually, that's legitimate because that did cost them when you're talking about getting to the finals. It did
They're
have
not
an
even
impact.
close to the finals without
him.
Luka.
Yes. I mean, come on.
A lot of yelling here, but I'm just simply
Okay, well,
saying-
they're not even close to the finals without Luka.
Right.
And
No, I
his
get that
entire
part.
offensive
They're not in the
game,
playoffs
he's one of the
without
best
him.
rebounding guards you've ever seen in your life. He's one of the best passers in the NBA. Sorry if
Right,
he's,
I'm not-
and it's not like he's just standing there and he's a traffic cone, but like, sorry if he's not Ben Wallace.
Yeah, he could be a traffic cone, and that would be just fine.
Yeah.
But you do not want to ever see him give up his offensive prowess, his game. I totally agree with that. One end of the floor is how he operates.
And let me tell you, the Mavericks did not trade him because he's a liability on defense.
No.
They had to pay him $350 million after next season, folks,
Yeah.
and they probably didn't want to do that. I mean, maybe it's enough. I heard our boy Gus, who had one of the best, craziest conspiracies I've seen, where he heard that, like, now that there's new ownership in Dallas, maybe things weren't going the way they wanted to, or they weren't making as much money or whatever. And there's always been rumors about an NBA team relocating to Vegas. That's like the next spot they want. And maybe they have a couple bad years or whatever, and when it's time to move, they up and move the team.
I love this
I
other-
would love
Other
that
conspiracy theory, which
Can't
Vegas.
let a team leave Dallas.
Yeah,
no.
Vegas has become a poacher. Whenever you come in
The
to
A's.
Las Vegas, you leave your money there. That's basically what they're doing to other pro cities. They're basically saying, "Come here, and you will never ever get your pro franchise."
I guess like the Mavs could move there, but there's no way the NBA would leave
a
Dallas
market
the
like
Dallas
Dallas.
Fort Worth Metroplex. No
I
way.
agree with that. And then I've always thought that the team in Vegas would probably be an expansion team. But
They'd immediately say something like, "Okay, Charlotte, you're going to Dallas."
I
now."
still love the conspiracy.
The fact that football made it there, and then baseball is certainly on its way. NHL's already been there.
Baseball's going to be big there. Wait and see.
Yeah,
It's
and
gonna
so
be big.
listen to this one. And this
I
again,
agree.
this is all on X. You don't have to have any facts back.
No,
stuff
facts are lame.
Luka was exactly 300 points shy of Michael Finley's standing of 12,389 franchise points for the Mavs. Finley is an assistant GM for the Mavs.
You can't let Luka
Get
pass
him out
my
of here.
scoring record.
Get him out of
Wait, so is Dirk not the all-time leading point scorer?
I would think Dirk is.
Wow.
Again,
Yeah.
this does not have to be based
Dirk
in
has to
fact.
be. It's not even close.
Dirk was what, 17 years?
Finley was there for a minute.
Give me a
too.
break. Anyway, it just made me laugh. All right, so jump in on that, 641-1010. Text line right there waiting for you, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We'll get in the 3 o'clock hour, back into some of these coaching hires. What does this represent for your Jacksonville Jaguars? Is Liam Cohen hitting home runs, singles, doubles when it comes to putting this staff together? We'll get into all of it on a Mocama Beer Company Monday, along with our quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson, popping in.
1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Jeff Prosser.
You yourself happen to have a terrible temper. I do not have a temper! No one can say that I have a temper!
Mornings
I have a terrible temper.
on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Mia here for MyBookie. It's finally here. A game so big we're not even supposed to say the name, where the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Philadelphia Eagles at the Caesars Superdome. This isn't just the biggest game of the year, it's the ultimate betting event. If you are not on MyBookie, you are missing out on the action. Big game betting with MyBookie goes beyond just picking the winner. We've got all the wild props for this epic showdown. Will it be heads or tails for the coin toss? What color will the Gatorade for the drenching of the winning coach be? Even the length of the national anthem are up for bets at MyBookie. They love giving you options to bet on everything. Make it easy to win and even easier to get paid with MyBookie, whether you deposit with crypto or credit. Bonuses await. And our new loyalty program gives you cash back just for playing. Bet on big game boosted parlays, live betting, and jackpots that can turn small bets into big wins. Why just watch when you can own the big game? Sign up with MyBookie now using promo code 1010XL and get your 50% sign-up bonus to kick things off. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a beautiful walk-in closet that's already so incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com. And take advantage of extended savings this month. Get 40% off and another 15% off with 18-month special financing.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
The Electric Light Orchestra Experience featuring Evil Woman, the American ELO, a concert celebration featuring the music of the Electric Light Orchestra. It's February 5th at Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets at fscjartistseries.org.
National Signing Day is Wednesday. Who's going to the Gator Swamp?
What's going to happen?
Find out who's heading to your school. Catch Decision Day for college sports future stars. Opened by Baker Glass. No one treats you better on 1010XL.
So, Dad, how many people did we have in the house for the family party this year?
I think we had about 30, but with all those grandkids, it felt like 300. They were all over the carpets, rugs, sofa, and chairs, and the kitchen tile really took a beating.
Sounds like it's time to call Zero Res. The Zero Res text will get the house looking great again.
Folks, if you need help cleaning up after the holidays, give Zero Res a call. Right now, get 25% off carpet cleaning and 25% off upholstery cleaning. Zero Res.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
When the heat's on high or the chill is too much, who you gonna call? Cool Cats Heating and Cooling is locally owned and operated with a perfect touch. You'll keep your home just right, day or night. AC to heating, don't take a beating. Call the coolest cats in town. With a 5-star Google rating, they're your neighbors, ready to help. So get your paw of approval from Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. CoolCatsJax.com.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Are you 18 years or older? Just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Lauren from Helmets and Heels wishing you a happy new year. Start 2025 off strong by giving your car the expert care it truly deserves at Big Chief Tire. Their skilled technicians will keep your vehicle running smoothly all year long, whether you're commuting, traveling, or just cruising around town. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment and start the new year off right. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Baker Glass. Tony Baselli is one of the most important pieces to the Jaguars franchise, as you cannot tell the story of the team without him.
The Hall of Fame left tackle is now taking on his next journey, as the team announced today. He will be named Executive Vice President of Football Operations. Boselli sat down to talk about what this personnel position means to him.
This franchise is everything. It's in my blood. We've been through a lot together. But right now is a great time to be a Jaguar. Today, Shad Khan made my dream come true, and I'm ready to get to work. Next step is finding our general manager, and that work is already underway. I was the first pick in franchise history. It's not just a job, it's my passion. And I am so excited to be a part of the team that brings the first championship to Duval.
It's 69 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
Under center, Denny Thompson ready to talk some ball with us as we are into the 3 o'clock hour. Thanks for hanging out with us. XL Primetime, Joe C., Matty Hayes. Check out his stuff at USA Today Sports. The Hurricane Hall of Famer, Big Searcy and JJ. Denny, good to see you, especially when you're rocking the Dodgers cap. And all we did was talk L.A. During the break with Luka as we get ready to talk some.
I like it.
Yeah.
I do.
What's not to like?
I like it.
If he is the eventual replacement with the guy.
That's obviously what it is. 25 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's building for the future.
Yeah. And Mr. Offense. And LeBron played both for a long time. A very, very good end-to-end basketball player. But anyway, we definitely
People forget that.
Oh, my gosh.
We need to remind the younger guys. Yep. LeBron was one of the best defensive players in the league for a long time.
Rasheed Mathis, I owe him an apology. Because towards the end of his career in Jacksonville, it looked like he would have to make up for what other guys weren't doing, and then all of a sudden he didn't look like he was a sure tackler, Leon, or anything like that. You go back and you realize just how good he was when he was Rasheed Mathis. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Playing at such a high level, and that's basically what happened with LeBron towards the end. He just didn't have to play as much defense down the stretch.
Well, you're acting like he's gone. He's still got
He ain't gone.
Still got a little bit longer.
Yeah,
having a great season too.
Yeah. But the exit plan, this is the first big shoe to drop when it comes to the exit plan. All right.
I mean, they go from, we were just talking about it. I mean, think about the superstars they've gone from and to in LA, and there's just another one. I mean, you go Magic, and then you go what would that be? Magic, Kobe.
Well, you go Kareem before that.
Kareem, Magic, Kobe, LeBron.
Shaq, throw him in there.
Shaq, yeah. And now you're going to bring Luke in. Some big shoes to fill, but
endless.
See what happens.
It's been about a half century since that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar trade.
That's probably the closest one.
Yeah, from Milwaukee.
JJ and I were kind of going
to
over
LA
in the break. It's probably the closest as far as major athlete in a sport that was traded at the height of his career and was still young and just blew up when it was just phenomenal.
Had Stern not blocked CP3, we'd have another 3 or 4 banners hanging up there.
That would have been nice.
Now, when you say closest, you saying Kareem won, then Luka 2, or you saying Luka won, the Kareem?
Who did the Bucks
get?
I'm
saying
Dude,
Kareem.
They got nothing.
Kareem is
Junior Bridgman, Dave Myers.
Is probably like the standard bearer is what I'm saying.
I think you got to let this thing play out.
You're talking about a guy that had it. No. When he was traded, I'm saying. When Kareem was traded, he was a 3-time MVP and won a championship. Luka has not won a championship. He hasn't been the MVP yet, has he?
Right, he got his team to the finals. Yeah. The other part of it,
no MVPs for Luka, but I mean he's considered one of the top players.
No, I agree with you. He's look. I'm a huge Luka fan. You know that. All I'm saying is you got 3 MVPs and an NBA title on your resume when you get traded at 28. That's
and by the way,
that's hard to say at Luka at 25 with no MVPs and no titles.
Right. And Dallas may have to wait a half century to get back to the finals because that's how long it took for Milwaukee to get back to the finals when they said goodbye to Kareem. That's a haunting.
Giannis.
Who did they get for him, JD? Say those names again.
Oh my goodness. So they got Junior Bridgman,
pretty good player.
Dave Myers, Elmore Smith, and Brian Winters.
Winters
had just completed his first NBA season with the Lakers, having been a first-round pick the year before with South Carolina. He averaged 11.5 points per game that year.
Brian Winters, also known as Michael McDonald, the singer of Doobie Brothers. Same person.
That was a 4-1 4-1 trade, 4 players for one trade.
That was 4 dogs for one.
There was
elite.
also
had Walt Wesley.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
Kareem and Walt Wesley.
Don't ignore.
So 4 dogs for
Don't
one
forget
and,
Walt,
one and a
bro.
third.
All right, so we were just doing this, Denny. We were saying, what's the NFL equivalent of this? And there were texters that were saying Jamar for Saquon, Jefferson for Saquon, because Saquon had an unbelievable year. But he's also a running back that every single time he takes a hit, that's one more whatever taken off of his football life. But can you imagine a blockbuster trade in the NFL? It would have to include, like has been mentioned in our show, Lamar for Burrow.
Oh, yeah, would have to.
Josh Allen for whomever.
Yeah.
And heck, when Matt Stafford went to Detroit, there wasn't a blockbuster on the other end of it, but he did produce Super Bowl.
Yeah, that ended up working out for everybody involved.
Yeah.
You didn't know how big of a trade that was at the time, but yeah, I mean that's a great question. I wasn't listening on the way in; I was on the phone, but it's like it would have to be like what's a younger quarterback and an older quarterback still got. It would have to be like a Lamar for Aaron Rodgers type of thing, right? It's like somebody that still got 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
It couldn't be a Lamar for Josh Allen or Mahomes. That's not the same thing. It would have to be something along those lines. I mean,
it would be stunning if something like that.
It's like similar to Peyton, I guess, going back in the day, right?
When he left Indianapolis, and the reason why he left, and they didn't really push hard.
What is AD? How old is AD? I'm
32?
Yeah, that's not that. He's still got.
Gosh, he's already 32.
He's just always hurt.
He is always hurt. Yeah, that's why it's like
always
you say
hurt.
You say he's
got
only
12 years in the
I
league
thought he's
on
like
his belt,
35.
man.
Yeah.
Okay, he turns 32 in March. So yeah.
Yeah, he was just so
His
young.
body's
Came
like
into the league.
39.
He's got 1,000 games under his belt,
Yeah.
man. That's
Sorry
a
to
lot.
interrupt you. I just
Oh, no,
I
no.
thought about that as I was saying like Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, wait, AD's not that old, but he seems like he's been around a minute.
He's also like George Barr says all the time, our doctor. He's a big dude, so he's got 1,000 games on that big dude frame.
Yeah, and they really tried to load manage him last year to make sure he was fresh, ready to go. He didn't quite go the Joel Embiid route, but it was close.
You're reaching with 1,000.
Yeah.
You think it's a lot more? Is that what you're saying?
Less.
Because of games.
Well, because of load
the health.
management. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, games.
But still, he's got a lot of games played on that
it's
body.
a lot of pounding. A lot of pounding. What is he, 6'11", 7 foot, something?
Yeah,
like
he's
that?
6'11".
Yeah.
And he's right there. And when he left Kentucky and came in with the Pelicans, he was just growing into that body. And the stories about him when he was just how he shot up in terms of height from his early teenage years.
Yeah.
He was handling the basketball.
He's also more muscular now, and so there's some pounding
Victor
going on in his body.
Can handle the basketball. And you're looking at like, how is this cat this big and can run and handle
dude's different.
Because he would handle the basketball as he was growing up.
You know what this makes you appreciate though is Shaq.
Yeah.
Just the pounding that
a
dude
freak,
took,
man.
and
Just a freak.
yeah.
I missed the Shaq theory.
Bro,
Sorry, we have to talk
I missed-
quarterbacks, or
I
can we
missed-
just?
I missed the post game. I missed the big man.
Yeah.
They've eliminated them.
No
You
question.
got big men shooting threes now. Get
Victor
down in the paint.
Wembanyama, who's like the tallest player ever in the history of the league, shoots threes.
I know, bro.
It's so annoying.
Get in the paint.
And both
Earn your feed.
AD and Embiid and all these guys, they would step out. They love stepping out. They don't want to go in there into that
Bro,
traffic.
Shaq, all 7'2", 320 of them,
Yeah.
played 1,207 regular season games in the NBA. Regular season.
Yeah.
God only knows how many postseason.
Oh, yeah.
So he's over 2,000 in that body.
I would love to know.
And no really significant injuries, right, JJ? No major injuries.
For Shaq?
For Shaq, major.
Oh, towards the end, absolutely.
Yeah, his body
man.
kept
Towards the
breaking down
end.
when he
But
was
I
with
mean,
the
for the
Heat and
for the majority of his time,
No,
run.
I don't remember like during the Lakers years, him sitting out like a
he was
whole
not
year or
hurt, yeah.
anything, or even the Magic years.
I'm sure
nothing like that.
StatMuse has something like this, but how many times did he get fouled?
Oh my God! And how many times did they not call it?
Well, that's the other thing about he was so big and so dominant that he wasn't just taking fouls.
Right.
Like he was taking everything everybody had every night.
Yeah, you don't
That's-
name something hack a Shack without it really being obvious that you just you want them to blow the whistle and call you for a foul.
And I was a Shaq fan too, bro. But late Shaq, like Suns and Boston Shaq, when he would fall, took forever when he fell. That's one. But
He
two,
fell in
it took
stages.
forever to get him back up too. I was like, oh Lord, Shaq.
I've got a beautiful piece of memorabilia. I'm looking at Palm Beach Autographs when they framed up our 1010XL throwback jersey there, but I got a beautiful Shaq when he was with the Magic. And he looks like a gazelle. He was just he was half a Shaq is basically what
Shaq.
he was. He was half a Shaq.
Wasn't that the movie?
By the time Shaq got to the Heat, he was like a monster.
Yeah.
A
Was it
monster.
Kazam? What was it?
It was no, he was in Blue Chips
Yeah,
too,
Blue Chips.
but he wasn't Kazam.
Yeah.
He did his acting thing for a while, man.
Oh, yeah.
Blue Chips, he was, I mean, that was smaller Shaq and Blue.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
old.
He was good.
Yeah.
All right. So these quarterbacks, it's
Let's get to the quarterback.
It's a reunion of sorts, Denny, and we'll set this up because we got to hit it in the other side, Matt. The quarterback carousel with the transfer portal. We got to at least hit that because we do that every week with Denny. It seems like because this is the time when either guys are turning pro or changing teams and all that kind of stuff. But when you take a look at a reunion, which is what this is Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, just a couple years ago.
I was at that one.
Yeah, you were at that one?
Gardner. Yeah, Gardner was with Philly.
Oh, yeah, that's
year.
right.
Yeah.
So can you describe, all right, so at least take this part of it for right now. The difference between Jalen Hurts then and Jalen Hurts now.
I don't think there's much.
There isn't, but has he refined? Because everyone says, what does he do? He doesn't do a whole lot. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do Jalen Hurts is still a very effective quarterback.
No, I love where the game is right now because you've got two guys that traditionally aren't looked at as quarterbacks in the NFL for a number of different reasons, right? But Jalen, I think, is the perfect example of a guy that is with a staff and a front office who knows what he's really, really good at.
Totally embraced it.
Yep, and said we can build around this. We're going to go ahead and give him the money. We're going to build what he needs around him. And then you bring in Saquon, much like, the Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson thing. Now you bring in Saquon, and you put real stress on second levels of defense. You got linebackers that go, wait. I mean, Jalen squats the whole weight room. Like, I don't know if they're giving or if he's keeping here. And either way, we got to bring everything we got to either one of these guys. That puts a lot of stress on the defense. And you got a guy like A.J. Brown who can just be wherever he wants to be and is a big body and has a big catch radius. You don't have to be pinpoint accurate. It works. It works.
Now, I mean, I hear the narrative for me all week long has been that Jalen Hurts is a system quarterback. I mean, what is that? I mean, the same narrative was said about Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
he was in the right system, and they're saying that as far as Jalen Hurts, that he's in the right system. He's got offensive line run again. I mean, what does that even mean?
I mean, if by system quarterback you mean that he has got an elite skill set at a certain thing, and that's the team has done a good job building a system around that, then yes, he's a system quarterback. And I would argue that every single player with not named Pat Mahomes or Josh Allen,
right,
in the NFL should be a system quarterback.
Yeah, my answer would be, you got a problem with that?
Right,
yeah.
Right. Like if you're telling me that you figured out what your quarterback does well and you have the ability to build that around him, then absolutely.
Just look at those numbers. I'm showing Denny these numbers, and I'll repeat them because we said them the other day. But it is insane how Jalen Hurts has been effective in the system. Lamar, effective in the system. Now, Lamar's had two different offensive coordinators. Jalen has been through, in his short amount of time, 3, I believe.
Yeah, it's his third.
Yeah, because they had Shane Steichen, then Johnson, and then they went to Kellen Moore. But, Leon, remember these numbers? This is Lamar versus Jalen. 46 wins for Jalen, 45 for Lamar. Passing yards per game, 190 for Jalen, 174 for Lamar. Total touchdowns, 140 for Jalen with the Hurt spurt. He gets a bunch of them, 125 for Lamar. 2 Pro Bowl selections each, 2 conference titles for Jalen, 0 for Lamar.
Yeah, but because I think Jalen Hurts, he gets penalized for having good around him. Well, I mean, they put a good offensive line in front of you. They put a good running back. You got 2
what's wrong with building a team?
I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean,
Trevor's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Say
exactly.
that to me again.
Yeah, well, to be fair, too, on those stats, by the way, that 2 conference championships, is Jalen hadn't had to play Mahomes and Allen.
He would probably have two rings.
No.
Oh.
I'm saying the conference championships.
Yeah, well,
Lamar's having to butt up against that earlier than what Jalen's having to butt up against
Lamar
that.
still has not won back-to-back playoff games in the same season, and that is a problem because he went up to Buffalo.
Listen, I'll take Lamar.
Yeah,
every single day. I'm with Leon on this. Like, if you're saying he's a system quarterback, you also got to acknowledge that he had the skill set that brought the system about. Like you can't. It's not like the air raid back in the day where we're going to recruit a bunch of guys who can throw the ball to a spot and then they're just throwing. No, the Philly had to craft and build around what Jalen Hurts does well, and Jalen had to embrace that.
Yeah,
like that's what the NFL should be about.
You have to give him credit, and especially not midway, but early. maybe the first half of the season. So we're talking maybe early October when they had that wobble and Sirianni and Jalen, everyone was trying to write the story that they weren't getting along. They went through that bye week. He said, everything goes through me. And he basically took it on, and he's been pretty solid since then. All right, so we'll talk a little bit more about the Super Bowl quarterbacks with our quarterback whisperer, but then also what's going on with the quarterbacks in the college game and these GMs that are getting hired and pulled away and all this stuff. We'll talk about that coming up on XL Primetime.
Consider him the captain of your ride home.
Frank Frangie.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
You're on our way to the moon, Fred.
Frank Frangie.
Oh, that man.
Afternoons on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
Your new roof from Universal Roof and Contracting can help save a life. Percentage of every new roof this month will go to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. St. Jude's is leading the way. The world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer and other life-threatening diseases. Call 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com to schedule your free roof inspection. This promotion ends February 28th. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. They're professionally trained builders. Deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, superiorfenceandrail.com.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at ProJaxRoofingFL.com.
Grinding out good grades can be just as challenging as winning games. That's why 1010XL salutes the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
Listen up, Ospreys. UNF Homecoming Week is just around the corner. You don't want to miss the festivities, especially the Birds of Trey, as the UNF men's basketball team hosts Bellarmine Thursday, February 6th, and FGCU Saturday, February 8th at UNF Arena, tipping off at 5. Show off your pride and reconnect with your alma mater. Thursday, February 6th at 8 and Saturday, February 8th at 5. Visit UNFOspreys.com/buy tickets now to secure your seats. Swoop!
Roses are red, violets are blue. A broken pipe? That's no way to woo. This Valentine's Day, don't let plumbing or HVAC problems ruin the romance. 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrouter.com.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Tailgate special alert. 3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
The big game is almost here, and Sonny's Barbecue wants you to win a barbecue feast. Text Sonny's to the text line brought to you by Lifetime Flooring at 641-1010 for your chance to win. 641-1010.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
We got Denny Thompson hanging out with us for another segment before we turn him loose, talking quarterbacks, talking ball, really more than anything else. And we went from the round basketball back to the oblong leather pigskin and talk a little football here. Who do you like, by the way? Super Bowl Sunday. Chiefs, why wouldn't you? Why would you?
I mean, I'm never going to pick against Mahomes.
Why would you bet against them right now?
No.
We're
it can be Mahomes and 10 reserve players, and I'd still pick KC right now.
Now, I'm in charge at home.
I don't know, man, Mahomes.
Yeah.
I'm in charge at home of Pop's Props. I open up my prop shop, and I put them all together.
Steals money from his family.
Yeah, trying.
He's a bookie for his wife and kids.
Hey, listen,
I love you so much.
They know that I lose more than I win, so they actually don't mind betting me. But we're going to do a 10 prop.
Something wrong with you. You know that, right?
We're going to do a 10 prop sheet here for lunch. You want to be in on?
No.
Are you
No,
sure?
I'm good.
Who won last? I think
good.
Matt lost last year.
I have never gambled on sports.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sucks for you,
What is
bro.
wrong
It's
with you?
badass.
Listen, I love gambling. Maybe that's why I haven't. My whole life, my whole income comes from sports. I don't need to double down on that.
Well, that is true. You need to root for the best possible outcome.
Right.
And so you're looking at the football gods going, don't strike me.
I don't
Okay?
need any more stress related to a football game right now.
Don't strike me down.
It is stressful.
All right, so, and we were just talking about this in the break. The evolution of what we have seen from Leon's days in Miami to where they are now, the fact that Carson Beck is down there and all this craziness. Anyway, from year to year, like, can you see something different, Denny, that took place last year during the, let's just call it the offseason or the portal cycle, however you want to describe it, compared to this year? Because I mentioned to you guys that GM title all of a sudden has caught fire in the college world.
Yeah, that's such an interesting job. It's not one I would want.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to GMs a lot.
And why wouldn't you?
I'm not real sure, like, where their job stops. They're on the phone all day trying to get deals done, also in charge of scouting now. Like, I mean, we have people scouting other teams' rosters now. Like, that's what college football is. And then having to raise money. And, you know, you got to understand, like, you're not dealing with a CBA here. You're not dealing with, like, Leon, when you bring an agent in for the draft, right? When you get drafted and he's negotiating your contract, there's a set of rules that govern what he can and can't do, right? Like, man, these contracts are being negotiated with money that nobody even knows if they really have.
Just insane.
And basically, you know, base level contracts that were written yesterday by some dude in a lot of cases. Like, it's still so new that GM job is, your job is that head coach is going to tell you what he wants, and you got to go get him. And then this donor over here and this so-called, like, profit share and all that is going to give you a number, and you got to do it for under that. Like, I don't know how it's tough. It's tough. And you're basically saying no all day.
Yeah, I'd be dizzy.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I've always been a proponent for the players to have power now. I know JJ and Joe aren't fans of.
Yeah. Oh, stop!
I'm just being honest.
No, I like
fans
that.
of
I
players
don't
moving.
think that there's.
Yeah, I don't think you do actually.
I don't think the players should be able to just every single year go to a new school. I think they should be paid like what they deserve.
Because I played their contract, they can't move to another team.
I think it's ruining college football.
Yeah, I say get paid, play hard, stick around. That way you can make memories for yourself and for the people that are rooting for you. And I don't think that's a bad system at all because they all get paid. They will get paid.
Well, let me ask you this question. When it comes to coaches, don't you know coaches that want to get up at like Mike Norvell?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Norvell got to up and pay from Florida State when they thought Alabama wanted to come get them.
Leverage, held their feet to the fire. But you don't see coaches every single year going, I'm going to jump from here to here. They at least
that's because they're employees. They're under contract.
Right.
Yeah. These players are not employees.
Right.
These players are not
employees.
We're saying for the future of college football, we hope that one day soon they do become employees.
Well, here's the thing,
and
though.
there is contracts, and they can't just jump.
Oh, well, see, now you're changing your story.
No, we're not. We've been saying that the entire time. And I get you and Leon, hey, the players haven't been played. They deserve to be paid. Yes, but to the detriment of college football, it's this movement.
Right, but it's not.
It's not the pay
Listen,
that we're
it's not.
pissed about.
Well, hold on.
Listen,
because if you do
guys are
that,
looking at this the wrong way.
like you can't do that in college football. It's never going to happen unless you have a draft. Because right now, if I'm a 5-star kid and Alabama wants me and Georgia wants me and Florida wants me and everybody else wants me, one of them is going to go to a donor and go, I want Denny, so we're going to put an extra $2 million.
Right.
Because I have a choice to make. So until you have a draft, like this thing's going to be hard.
Well, you're
We've
never
been
gonna get
paying
a draft.
players for
You're never going to get that.
decades.
You
That's
don't
what I'm
need a
saying.
draft. You could just go to the higher bidder. My point is, when you sign a contract with the club or with the school, you have to stay there till the end of the contract.
But my point to you is this. Look, this is the point. You're never going to get what you like, JJ, until you completely outlaw the collective side of it, okay? But to do that, to have the money that you need to pay the players to do that, and to put everyone on a semi-even level, the NFL is going to have to start coming up with money because for 100 years it's been free development for them. And at some point, the NFL is going to have to, the college football is going to have to.
College football's got plenty of money.
Wait. College football is going to have to say, okay, well, guess what? Until you give us money, you get no access to players, no access to practice, no access to game tape, no access to coaches.
That would be
Watch how quickly the NFL, which values the draft over everything, says, all right, let's start giving them some money.
Let's not act like the NFL doesn't help college football already. Like there's a bunch of college teams.
What money do they get?
Everyone
wins.
It's the NFL's so much bigger than college football.
Yeah, everyone wins.
Like
Obviously.
I mean, everybody in the NFL that's not in the South, all NFL fans watch college football to see who could be playing for their team. Like I just there's so much money there. We don't need to take money from anywhere else. It just needs to have a system come out.
I'm anti-rules and regs, but this is the only thing. Like I call
they have $110 billion media deal. The NFL does.
What's college making? I mean,
$4 billion. $4 billion annually.
Much smaller. Yeah,
I understand that, but they also aren't selling teams for billions of dollars and building $2 billion stadiums. Like taxpayers are paying a lot of that,
right? But they're at a lower percentage of what you're talking about, though. The money they're throwing into these programs is significant.
They're not pros. They should not get paid what pros get paid.
Right, but my point is, the 3 or 4 years that they're in college is directly benefiting the NFL. Is it not?
I understand. No, I understand what you're saying. I want to finish that because somebody could capture what I just said and use it against me. They should not be getting paid what pros
No, I'm not saying that either.
But the minute you put them in a contract, that's going to be what the expectation is because they're taking a similar amount of risk. Right, so I think the way the system is now, at any point, whatever you do, you're going to have to rely on a bunch of football coaches and a bunch of ADs eventually going, okay, we're all going to abide by the rules, and we're going to keep our boosters straight. And it ain't happening.
That ain't happening.
It's not happening.
But I'm telling you, like the closest, like JJ and Joe are saying, well, why can't they just stay in the same place? Okay, to get them to stay instead of leaving every other year, you've got to literally have an agreement of, okay, here's a pay scale. You're not going to get that pay scale where everybody is on the same level unless you have money, right? You have a shared money situation.
Yeah, no,
and that's not going to happen.
I got you.
Yeah, and the only thing I always say is
they don't have enough money for that.
Letterman's jacket is now Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's just all these different.
It is. So there's all kind of ideas out there.
I do think the moving will settle down.
Yeah,
I do believe that.
I don't think it will, man. I don't think it will.
For the future of the game, it better.
Yeah,
because I get like, hey, the players need to do. Well, we need to give all the players the power. They never had any power. Okay, but college football sucks now.
Yeah, you just went from I'm not going to say it sucks because I still believe that we get.
It's worse than it used to be.
Yeah,
it's the ratings don't show that, do they?
Yeah, but
yes, they do.
The ratings are down somewhat because it's during the NFL season too. They're competing with the NFL.
Yeah, and the NFL will. Black eye
kill anyone.
Game.
Yes.
I was at a college game every week this year, and it was
crazy.
The craziest year I've ever seen.
You can't tell me that the transfer portal has not been a black eye for college football.
It's never been more popular. It's never been more. The ability to sell that to advertisers to television partners and streamers has never been greater.
But the
never.
national championship game, third lowest rating they've ever
No, I
had.
get that.
So
You
can't ignore that.
I
It was
get
Notre
that.
Dame versus Ohio State.
Yeah.
I get that.
Two big brands, baller brands.
Yeah.
And they
The
didn't.
season's
They didn't
too.
move.
I mean,
And I
the
already
season's too long.
I already told you guys
Like,
my response to that. There was no SEC team in there, so
It
that's
probably had something to do with it. It really did. It really
I don't
did.
know. I don't know. I
Ole
think-
Miss was in there. You really think the rating will
no,
be
but if
bigger?
Alabama or
Massive.
Georgia were in there,
We've
it would've
seen,
been
we've
massive.
said this,
Toddy.
we've said this a million times. They got to figure out the schedule. They've got
Yeah,
the
the whole
calendar.
calendar. The
The whole
calendar's a
calendar is a mess. That's the biggest problem in college football right now.
Amen.
It's funny because the NFL, if college football keeps trying to move it back, they tried to take over week 0, and the NFL figured out a way that they were going to steal something from the college game. They said Thanksgiving Day, it was ours. You tried to borrow from it. Now
Right,
we're
you want to
gonna take
blame
Friday
the
from you.
NFL. They're stealing everything from college football. They're stealing
They're stealing
Thursday,
from everybody.
everything.
They're stealing it from everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So you want to blame someone, blame them.
I ain't blaming the NFL for that. Are you kidding me?
Hey, kids at home, be careful because we're talking about this transfer portal, and there's still like 2,700 of you stuck in there with nowhere left. to
Right,
go.
and there will be more when the spring portal opens.
That's the bigger picture that we're not seeing. Yes, we see the Carson Becks of the world moving. We see the big names moving. But there's 80% of these
Jaden
cats hopping in
Rashada.
there that don't have anywhere to go. That's why I'm saying I think, one, I don't think it's as bad as we think it is. But two, I think it will continue to get
But
better.
I'm glad you said that because I thought every single year we heard 1,500 and north of 1,500 players stuck in the portal. I thought that would have that it would have shaken itself out by now, and yet it has not.
No, then you say 2,700 are stuck in the portal. I mean, is that
Purgatory.
That's what it was at one point. I don't know if
is there some players that
it's less than that now, but it's still a lot.
Is there some players that are just not taking lesser schools? That maybe
there's two problems.
They're left behind, right?
One, the players, and a lot of times the parents believe they're destined for greater things, and they're not.
That's
they
the
can't
big
even get
one,
on
by
the
the way.
field where
That's
they're at.
the big one.
Major.
Well, that's 1A. 1B is the coaches walking up to these players going, hey, we think you should enter the portal because there's not a future for you here.
Right.
That is a lot. Every time you have a coaching change, every time you have turnover, that conversation happens 20, 30, 35, 40 times. Like it is what it is. So not everybody that's in the portal is in there because they want to be in the portal.
Yeah,
and people
and
need
they
to
get-
Right,
Oh,
because here's another thing too. Like you used to be where you had scholarship limitations. You still do, but if you lose guys, then you can go up to the max scholarships. So now the coach is just running players off so they can get high school players in and get transfer board guys in.
Yeah, and believe me, we're not letting coaches off the hook because they can be scumbags.
of course
too.
not.
I was just going to say, I mean, some of these kids that they're in the portal, told to go into the portal, they're not equipped emotionally for a coach coming. I mean, they've been coddled like since they were like 6 years old in high school.
Here's another thing. Let me blow your mind real quick.
Yeah.
When July 1 rolls around, these guys are now getting paid, and they start getting the pay for play. There's no more walk-ons. No more walk-ons.
So they're gonna have to figure out
if
a
you
way.
want a 105 player roster, you got to pay them, all of them, scholarships.
Ooh, I thought they still could come up with a bridge.
No more walk-ons.
Okay.
you don't have to give them a full scholarship. I don't think.
Yeah,
There's
they can
no
bridge
more
them.
walk-ons. There's no more bridge or anything. It's got you got to
that's
pay
wild.
them a scholarship.
Yeah,
No more.
You can go up to 105.
Like Leon's.
No more
remember?
Rudies.
No more Rudies, bro.
They're gone. No.
Dude.
Well, I mean, you could say they're Rudies, but you have to pay them.
They'll figure out a way to do that. But when Dion ran 60-some players out of Colorado, that's what you're talking about. They're all looking around going like, what do I do
60-some,
now?
bro. Yeah, it was 82 of the 85 scholarships were new.
Yeah.
So how
I
many of
didn't
those?
know how many-
If you had to guess, Danny, how many of those 82 guys that left Colorado found homes?
I mean, statistically, less than half.
Yeah, I bet.
Right?
I bet. Yeah, I bet it's a lot lower.
I don't
than that,
know.
too.
I'm saying
Yeah,
statistically,
yeah.
the way it looks, less than half.
All
See,
right,
is that giving players power though?
Yeah.
Like you guys claim that the transfer portal is like, oh, power for the players, but they're being tossed aside like nothing.
Well,
What do you
at least they're
mean?
getting paid now.
They're not.
No, the ones that are in the portal are not.
I'm saying,
They're still
but
getting-
no, I'm saying you're
Guys,
Dude,
we
the
could
top
do- we-
top guys are getting paid.
We could do a
man.
3-hour show about
Linemen-
this. And
Right.
We need to do a 3-hour show about this.
3-month
because it's-
show about it.
The
still
players
being-
have very little power.
Yeah, they're still being used as pawns.
There
and they
is
will-
a very few of them that have any power.
Right.
The
Yeah.
vast majority of them are still on the old system. Not much has changed except for they're getting a little bit of spending cash. But if they don't make it in football, they don't have enough to get through 1 year after college.
Right.
which is crazy. Just hope that they, still at some point realize that part of it, embrace the educational side of things. Imagine that.
Oh, they're
Education.
Novel thought.
Education.
All right, Denny. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
At Denny_Thompson is XL Primetime Okama Beer Company. Monday, we say thanks to Okama.
1010XL's Dan Hicken dominated Folio Weekly's Best of 2024. Best TV sports anchor, Dan Hicken. Best radio sports anchor, Dan Hicken. Best radio sports show starring Dan Hicken. 1010XL, the home of Dan Hicken.
Hi, I'm Frank Frangie, and I've depended on South State for my banking needs as long as they've been serving Duval. Whether you're saving for retirement, purchasing a home, starting a business, your goals are their commitment. With forward-thinking, personalized banking solutions and best-in-class service, South State is ready to help you navigate your financial journey. Connect at southstatebank.com or drop by any of the 5 local South State offices. South State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. The big game is here, and it's now or never. Time to play and win with PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. And now it's big game free pick time. Listen to this. If Pat Mahomes throws for 1 yard, you win 1 square. Simple. Think about this. Will Saquon Barkley rush for more than 112 half yards, or Jalen Hurts pass for more than 215.5 yards, or Travis Kelce have more than 62.5 receiving yards? It's that simple. That's how it's done. And now PrizePicks is giving you a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. That's right, 1,000 times just for playing. But here's the best part. PrizePicks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use promo code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there at PrizePicks. Run your game.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It all begins with Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health, February 12th through 16th. The Daytona 500 is sold out, but you can still win a 4-pack of tickets to all the other Speed Weeks races. What driver won the 2024 Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010. What driver won the 2024 Daytona 500? For a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Speed Weeks races, text the driver's last name to 641-1010.
When the heat's on high or the chill is too much, who you gonna call? Cool Cats Heating and Cooling is locally owned and operated with a perfect touch. You'll keep your home just right, day or night. AC to heating, don't take a beating. Call the coolest cats in town. With a 5-star Google rating, they're your neighbors, ready to help. So get your paw of approval from Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. CoolCatsJax.com.
This is Hayes Carlion for Physician Guided Weight Loss. I'm down 20 pounds already thanks to Physician Guided Weight Loss. I feel great, and it's all thanks to them. Their amazing technology, fast setup, friendly staff, and proven results have sold me. They can help you too, and it's affordable with firm pricing. No rising costs as you go. If you're like me and looking to kick off the new year with a leaner body, call my friends at Physician Guided Weight Loss at 257-4344. That's 257-4344.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 3rd, 2002, the New England Patriots won their first Super Bowl title, defeating the St. Louis Rams 20-17. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady was awarded MVP.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World.
Simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
The Edwin Watts Golf Hour will meet you at the green.
Blue skies, fresh cut grass, birds chirping.
The Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
Grip it and rip it.
Get tips, tour notes, and the latest gear Saturday mornings at 10 on 1010XL. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, my takeaway is Tony Baselli, EVP. Always felt my frustrations as a player with this team, like I always needed someone there, someone that could feel the pain in which I had to endure with this Jaguar team over the last decade or so, and always felt that we needed someone that had played the game, that understood where we were in the beginning, and could somehow help transform that into what we were, into what we should be.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hopeful for, as far as Baselli going in there as an EVP.
Has he texted you back yet?
No, he hasn't.
Oh.
I'm all for it.
Big
honestly.
timing already.
Speaking, I'm all for that.
I mean, my takeaway is, look, we have no idea what's going to happen. We got a lot of young guys in the building over there now. Fortunately, you have someone with a connection to the past now with Tony. Maybe Ron Rivera jumps on board as a consultant of some sort, which would help the build out. I don't think it's not unlike every other new regime that goes in there. You hope and you have an idea of, okay, well, maybe they'll see it this way, and maybe this will work or that'll work. And there's how many times do I say this? Hope is not a plan.
No,
it's
not.
And they've been in this situation. They've found themselves in this situation now. How many times since Shad Khan's been owner? 5. This is the 5th time now.
This is the 6th.
Or 6th time, excuse me.
Yeah, like we've made
I
the
forgot
point
about
that-
Herb. Herb is the one-off that we all forget about. That's 6.
Well, we made the point that Wayne Weaver owned this franchise for basically a decade, for the first half of its existence, basically. 2 head coaches. The other owners had it for the second half of their existence, now on its 6th.
12 years or 13 years of Shad? 12?
He
just
came in,
finished
he
12.
bought it in 11, started in 12. Yeah.
So he just finished his 12th, right?
Yeah. 13th, yeah.
Or 13th, excuse me. 6 coaches. And they're almost one every 2 years.
Yeah, and the problem, when you think about it, Gus lasted 4. Well, Mike Mularkey lasted 1.
Uno.
And so
Herb lasted uno.
And
Not
it's-
even uno.
And it's because
sub uno.
Yeah, it was the previous, and Mike's still in town, but the previous GM was a holdover from Wayne, and so Shad accepted him like he has accepted other things in the time that he has been the owner, and hopefully he's getting away from that. But he had to accept the Gene Smith contract, and then Gene hired Mike, and then one and done is basically what it was. All right, real quick, JJ, throw this at us.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, we got a Jags hire. They are hiring Packers assistant Anthony Perkins as their secondary coach. He's a former co-defensive coordinator at Oregon State. Excuse me.
So that's 2 Packers that are coming over.
Another young guy. I believe he's like in it.
Okay. All right, that we're going to have a Packer HOFer tomorrow.
We will.
In Leroy Butler. So we'll be able to ask him about both of them now and get an idea of what is coming to the table. I do think that when you're talking about, at the very least, Liam Cohen comes in his late 30s. He comes in with not a lot of pedigree when it comes to coaching at the top, but he's being given the power to construct the staff. He's putting together guys that have history with him or have history with others that he has worked with. And I don't know whether they'll be successful or not. One of the storylines is, well, wait a minute, where is the experience? You're going to be coaching one side. Where's the experience on the other side? We got a first-year defensive coordinator. I don't know whether it'll work or not. You go back over the years, Gus Bradley hired a never-before offensive coordinator in the NFL in Jed Fish. It did not work out on the NFL level. We've seen head coaches hire first-time defensive coordinators that also did not work out. So I don't know whether it will. I'm just like anybody else out there, hoping like heck it does. That's it. Just hoping like heck it does, because all of Duval needs that. They need to feel like they've got something to root for and get behind. And with the hiring of Tony as the EVP and then the compilation that he's putting together in this coaching staff, let's just hope they get out there and kick a little butt. We don't know.
Perkins 35, another young guy.
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't that name remind you? Have you ever seen the movie Heavyweights with Ben Stiller, where he like runs a fat camp? And his name is Tony Perkins.
Maybe.
Oh, so funny, man.
Is it?
I highly recommend it. It's very 90s, but man, it holds up. It is hilarious. One of Ben Stiller's greatest movies.
And remember when he gets in the fat suit in the other movie? Where he's just
dodgeball, right?
Yeah,
when he gets like real depressed at the end.
So
Yes.
that's what I'm thinking of when you said that.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
Oh, it was so good.
I think of like Psycho Anthony Perkins, like the movie.
Yeah,
the
Anthony
classic,
Perkins, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is going back in time.
Movie, yeah.
So I hope for the best, because we really don't know. I read this one piece, I think it's Athlon that had it now, and there's one guy that can speak directly on how these teams in the Super Bowl were built, and we'll spend a little bit of time on it over the course of the week. But Joe Banner, make sure I have this right, he was one of the guys that originally was running the Philadelphia Eagles. Joe Banner was there from 1995 to 2012. So that's around the time you were in the league, at least the first half of his career running the Eagles as the team president was basically your career. So anyway, Joe Banner comes in, takes over the Eagles. Under his watch, he had Howie Roseman, who right now is the general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles and maybe the best general manager in the league. You could argue that. Howie Roseman started with the Eagles as an intern in 2000. His job was to focus on the salary cap. Worked his way up the ladder. Banner made him VP of player personnel in 2008, general manager in 2010. And we all know that since then, he has just risen through the ranks.
That's awesome.
Executive VP GM since 2019. He also hired Brett Veach, who is now running the Kansas City Chiefs. Veach began his NFL career as a coaching intern with the Eagles in 2004, brought in by Andy Reid, who Banner hired in 1999. So when you think about it, that is a pretty damn good line of hires. And going back to what you just said about the Shad Khan hires, you need to find good guys to hire, to hand the keys to a very important toy that you have, to run it properly. And that ain't easy.
No, it's not. You've got to find rare guys. You got to find those type of guys that can develop within. First off, that don't mind doing the grunt work, that work their butt off doing the grunt work, right? Yeah. Because they can see the horizon line. They know what's there. You know what I mean? They don't mind doing the grunt work. And then once they get to the point where they're starting to move up, then they get even more motivated. Those are rare people in any business, not just football, in any business.
And you go back and you think, well, that guy hiring that guy, what does that have to do with us? Well, Veach followed Andy Reid to Kansas City. Remember, Philadelphia basically gave up on Andy Reid. On Andy. You had made it to these 4 championship games. You made it to the Super Bowl. You didn't win. So Veach follows Andy Reid to Kansas City in 2013. That was the same year Dave Caldwell and Gus Bradley were hired here. That was the same year that one team picked number 1 and selected Eric Fisher.
Right, and the other team picked number 2.
team picked number 2 and selected. I'm drawing a blank.
The offensive tackle.
Luke Jokel.
Luke Jokel.
I can't believe that I was drawing a blank on the 2nd overall pick, Luke Jokel. Yeah, that's how history.
Baby Baselli.
Yeah, exactly. That's how history starts to line up. Okay? That was just a little over a decade ago.
That's not history lining up. That's like Shakespeare, tragic comedy lining up. Is what that is.
Yeah. But on one side, that historical meteor that was Kansas City under Andy Reid and Brett Veach, and ultimately he had Alex Smith, then Pat Mahomes. We all know what has happened there, and he hasn't missed a beat from 2013 on.
He's getting ready to win his 4th Super Bowl with the Chiefs, right? If they win.
Yeah, because they
won 1.
They've lost 1.
1, 2, and they get ready to win 3rd.
Yeah. So
4.
And he will be within striking distance of passing Bill Belichick's record of all-time postseason wins if he gets this victory. So it's worth pointing out that one guy hired future leaders of 2 Super Bowl teams right now.
Yeah.
Major success. And all you can do is dream of it. And let's hope that was their president and Joe Banner. Maybe this team just hired an EVP that's going to save them. You never know. Speaking of saviors.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Service by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Oh, Hayes is saving us from ourselves. The embedded and shredded comes in. Savior of sorts, Tony Baselli. Could it be?
Yeah, how about that? Great move. We've talked about, Shad needing, that layer. And now I think he has it. And, it's not a role of decisions in terms of the football side of things. But that's good that Shad will have Tony's eyes and ears and his expertise that, will be able to, report to him on what he sees that he likes and doesn't like. And, and that's a great thing. So, obviously his passion for the franchise is unmatched. And, I think that's certainly going to be a real asset as well. So, yeah, I think the organizational structure is where you want it. And now now that everything is crystallized, now you can go pursue a GM and be able to give that candidate a very clear cut, this is how it's going to work. But it sounds like the GM is going to really work with Liam in conjunction of choosing the players. I still think Liam Cohen is kind of the guy. But but the GM and will work with Liam and then Tony will obviously be a part of that as well in terms of bouncing ideas off of. So get ready. Physical Jaguars football coming.
That's what Leon's ready for 2-a-days. He wants to bring them back. But the Shot has made 2 hires in one off season. I got to make sure he gets to the 3rd. Will you please just make sure they actually gets to the 3rd?
Yeah, I mean,
guarantee us that.
I think he will. I'll say this: now that Tony is in place, if they wanted to promote Ethan Watt to GM, I think it'd be fine. He's a totally different person than Trent Baalke. So the fact that Baalke brought him in, don't let that kind of. I'm not saying that's where they're going, and my guess is they're going to go out of the organization to find the GM. But if it's Ethan, I think he's a fine in-house candidate. Now that you've got Baselli in there as well, it will be interesting to see who they're able to attract because it's. The head coach has the power, it looks like, and you do have an EVP, although that's not a making draft picks EVP. Right. But still, I'll be interested in seeing how the search goes and what kind of candidate is attracted to it. Because a lot of these guys that are lieutenant GMs, they've sort of grown up with the idea of, dreamt about the idea of, I'm going to become a GM, I'm going to hire my coach, I am the guy signing the free agents, and I'm making the final call, and that won't be what exists here. It'll be interesting. But we'll get to all that coming up on the Frangie Show.
That 20-point loss to the Vols.
Yeah, that was fun.
Stinger.
Yeah, shot 22%. Nice going, guys. 40 points below your season average. Way to show up. I hope you guys all had a great time Friday night, whatever the heck you did out in Knoxville until 3 a.m. because that's the only reason that you could excuse what we watched on Saturday is if they had a really fun time Friday night.
We have properly fired him up. Hayes Carline, ready to go.
See you guys.
Frank Frangie, JJ, they will have you for the next couple of hours. Big Sirs, Maddie, we will do it again mañana. We'll get closer to the Super Bowl. We'll talk a little bit about who we like in that game. All of that to look forward to. Mocama Beer Company, thanks to them. We appreciate them. Definitely check them out, mocama.com, on the shelves at Total and ABC, and, of course, up in Nassau County, Wildlight, and right there on South 8th in Fernandina. We're done. Francis Show coming up.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt Jacksonville.
This time I got it right, okay?
I'm Martin Truex.